Back here on Busted Open, Dave Lagreca, Sam Roberts, Tommy Dreamer, and let's bring in somebody that we've talked a lot about here on Busted Open, member of the Judgment Day, Dominik Mysterio. Sir, how are you? How you doing, man? How is life after prison?
It's pretty good. Thank you guys for having me.
Dave, I'm trying to maintain my professionalism. You know, you brought me in for my broadcasting abilities, but this is like my favorite wrestler right now.
I know.
Like, it's hard for me to disguise my fandom, and it's always interesting, I think, like as a fan, to kind of observe moments that like make people, right? Like they're like, you can a lot of times trace it down to one moment. And I feel like when you became this villain in the Judgment Day, it was working because people were booing you, and it was like, okay, yeah, this feels good. But there's one quote that I feel like put it over the top, and it was like, once that quote was said, it's off to the races. And it was, "Mommy, I'll never make it in jail." And you wouldn't think that would be the thing that would put you to the next level. But for me, I mean, that's the career-making line.
You know, at the time and place of that situation, I was speaking from the heart. I didn't believe I was going to make it in jail.
Really?
But
It's a tough place.
It is. And then once I saw Mommy on her knees crying and screaming, and I was like, man, she's really sad. I can't have this. So I had to toughen up and had to learn some things, and we made it out.
Button that top button?
Yeah, top button.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the other ones are loose.
Yeah. I love it. I love all
some,
Go ahead. No,
no,
please.
you go.
No, the social media stuff that you guys have been doing, because, I mean, I just saw it this morning, or maybe it was last night, like before the Royal Rumble. Not only the going in, because I think on Thanksgiving was the first one, where you go in and you invade your family's Thanksgiving. And it was just like nobody knew it was coming. It's literally Thanksgiving. You're just scrolling through Twitter and you're like, what is this? And then it happens again on Christmas Eve, and now it's a thing and people are excited. But even watching the Royal Rumble training that just popped up on Instagram, just like, "Mommy, can you let me down now?"
it's you know, I thought Thanksgiving.
But the blood rushes to the head.
I thought Thanksgiving was bad at the Lagreca house.
Yeah.
And now, forget it.
But, you know, you do, I guess, have to assert your dominance sometime. And the Mysterio house, it's got to be tough living with the shadow of your father hanging over your head. And holidays are a good time to assert dominance in a family.
Most definitely. And, you know, I got disciplined a lot as a kid.
You did?
Yeah, I did. You know, coming from a Latino household.
Sure.
You know, with a mom and a Mexican mom, Mexican dad. So when it was my time to return the favor to Dad, I was definitely excited. It was like, hey, why not better, like you said, than Thanksgiving on holidays, Christmas, and New Year's we skipped because I wasn't there.
Right. Well, you're just getting out of jail.
Yeah, I was just getting out. So we had a tough time getting New Year's put together. Yeah. But overall, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Who is tougher, your mom or your dad?
My mom.
Yeah, my household too. Dom, I haven't seen you since you were a little kid. I feel, when was the last time I mean, seriously, I don't remember the last time.
I think it might have been right after ECW One Night Stand.
That's right.
When my dad was the world champ.
And number one, I mean, watching your growth, tagging with your dad, not just for a wrestler, but the world has seen you grow up in professional wrestling. You've been, I mean, I joked with the Sandman because his son, Tyler Fullington, was the youngest in the business. And then I'll never forget when I got to tell him, no, Rey Mysterio's son is now the youngest in the business. And you had heat with another second-generation person when you didn't even know you had heat. But, I mean, your growth and your success, I mean, how much does that mean, honestly, to you?
Oh, man, it means the world to me. You know, never in a million years did I think that I'd be in the position that I am in now. And I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful for the position that I am in. And just growing up around it, you know, being backstage all the time, seeing the same people, working crew and producers and stuff, it's wild. And just being a part of it now. You know, I remember walking in with my dad in the locker room and just, you know, making tape balls with Edge and going around pegging people when I was 4 or 5 years old and, you know, grabbing the back of Bruce Pritchard's leg because he didn't like it. And he couldn't say anything.
You should still do all these things.
No, I can't do that now.
He can say stuff now.
You know,
yeah.
But I could get away with all those things as a kid and, you know, stealing the BWO tricycles and just cruising all around the arena. Like that's what I grew up on. So like being a part of all the chaos that, you know, my dad was back then and just kind of being in it, it's a blessing.
Dom, did you envision it this way? Because right now you're one of the most hated wrestlers on that Raw roster on Monday nights. Like, is that the way that you thought that this was all going to play out?
No, I didn't think any of this was going to play out the way it did. You know, it kind of all just happened so fast for me. It was the process for me, you know, starting to wrestle and train and debut was all completely different in our eyes and what we had envisioned. So me being a heel, I don't think was ever in the plan. And because you know my dad's always been a big baby face, and he's never been the bad guy. So I think seeing a different side of a Mysterio was what got the people intrigued.
And the thing that's interesting to me, because when Edge was gone from the Judgment Day, there's a void. And I was like, how are they going to fill that void? You filled the void of Edge. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm in such a crazy position, and I'm so blessed to be in the position that I am. And it never in a million years did I think that, you know, Edge stepping down and me stepping in and, you know, turning on both of them. And it's funny because WWE sells a picture of Edge and Rey Mysterio defeats the Judgment Day, but I'm standing in the middle over both of them. So, like, that's just insane to me. You know, like, that's so cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you look at your whole life in this thing, you're the only person that Mattel has released an action figure of as a small child and an adult. At my home, in my shelves, I've got 8-year-old Dom and I've got adult Dom in 2 separate eras. At what point did you seriously go, no, I want to be a professional wrestler?
I think I always kind of wanted to. I just never approached it. Because my dad's always said too, he never pushed me to become a wrestler or to train. So when the opportunity was never presented and my high school didn't have like wrestling, so I never really, but I always had the action figures whenever they were in town. I had to go to the shows. I always wanted to be backstage. Yeah. It was just a thing that was always like there, you know, and I always wanted it. So I think my senior year of high school, once I started seeing the sports die down and I was like, man, I never really liked school. So I asked my dad, I was like, hey, can I give it a shot? And I think he was just as shocked as I was. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And him and Conan started me off, and we were off to the races.
Amazing. Nice. Amazing. And now you see the Conan inspiration in the attire.
One of my 7 godfathers.
Growing up in the business, it's something. Speaking of something, Royal Rumble, what you got?
I got the Judgment Day winning. One of us 3. And I got Rhea breaking the record for most of the limbs and winning the whole thing.
Wow, that's a lot. That's quite an undertaking. Hey, how you know the vibe of your family? You're talking about your mom and your dad. Abuelo seems like so chill, right? He was the only one. Abuelo seems ready to like bring everybody back together. He's like, oh yeah, Dom, Rhea, come in. He didn't even feel like is he just because he's like the elder statesman, he's above it. Is he unaware that all the drama was going on?
I don't think Abuelo knew what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
he saw me show up with mommy, and he was like, all right, cool. You know, come on in.
It felt like a very welcoming household a second.
I think as soon as Rhea hit him with, hey, abuelo, he was like, oh, okay, yeah, come on in. You know, he heard some Spanish from the Australian girl and was like, yeah, bring her in.
You know, Dom, it's been awesome to watch your progression, and we say it on Busted Open all the time. You know, you and the Judgment Day are a necessity watch on Monday nights. So thanks for everything you're doing, and congratulations and good luck tomorrow night.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate it, and I'm an avid listener. Thank you.